Hello, everyone. Susan Gerbeck from Psychics Explained. We're going to watch a very short reading this time, which means it's going to be a lot of no's. That's my prediction. So, this woman he's reading, his name is Lisa. I don't know how old she is, but I'm thinking she was in her 20s. It's blurred on my end. And so now, but I did see her before, and Matt can see her before. So, typically, whenever he's reading for a young person, then he's usually going to have a young person come forward. It's unlikely he's going to want to say as a mother or a grandmother or a father or a grandfather because the odds of those people actually being dead are very low, or the odds are very high that they would be dead. Okay. So they're more likely to pick somebody who's a young person or an infant, that kind of thing, and not a, just going on her appearance. So this woman's located in New York. Her name is Lisa. So let's check this out. Again, this is reading 7 of 9, and it's 7 from, they're all recorded on October 28th, 2025. I'm recording this on November 8th, 2025. And it is a series of videos of watching Matt Fraser do 9 readings, one after another, so that we can understand mediumship better. So this is a standalone video. You can watch it just standalone, but to really understand, you should probably watch them in order and in the series so that you can get a better understanding of what cold reading really looks like. So let's pull this one up. And let's get started. Make sure you take a lot of notes.
Hi,
Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you right now?
I'm in New York.
Oh, perfect. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. Me too.
Okay, so first of all, when I'm connecting, did your mom pass here in the physical?
No.
She's still here in this world.
Yes.
All right, I have this woman that's stepping forward with me. I could have sworn like it was your mom because she's coming through and telling me that she showed me she was super close to. She's telling me when I'm connecting with her, it felt like she passed of some type of an abdominal cancer or an abdominal blockage.
Might be my great grandmother.
Did you know she had like some type of, I don't know if it was like a bowel obstruction. It was weird how she'd pass. It's almost like I feel like this tumor in my stomach when I'm connecting with the soul.
I don't know if she had a tumor, but I know she had a bevy of things, and I know one of them she had poor circulation on the lower part of her body, so maybe something like that.
That could be. I have her soul stepping forward. And then you know what's also interesting? I also have a young man that's also here with you, a young male that also passed.
Okay.
Was that like a boyfriend of yours that had departed?
No. My uncle did recently pass
No,
a little
I don't
over a
think
year
that's
ago.
I don't think that that's him. There's a young man that's here that's stepping forward on the spirit world, and I kept hearing suicide about him taking his life.
Um, the only one I could think of is possibly my uncle again. He did overdose. That's what we think might have happened with him, but it was never confirmed. But that's the only one I could think of
I
that I
don't
was
think so.
close with.
I see your uncle. It's not him. I think we're misplacing this one soul because remember that souls can come through like even from your past, like from years ago. And this young man is here. I want to say he was only like in his early 20s when he had passed away. And I keep sensing and feeling him.
I don't know. Um, I'm not sure.
I keep saying his death was under investigation. It's a weird way in which he had passed, and I see him trying to break through. So I don't know if this is somebody that, and I'm not foretelling something. This is something that had already happened, but for some reason, I see that soul that's connected and that's there. Now, sometimes it's rare that it happens, but sometimes they could also be using you to speak through somebody else. So if it was like a best friend of yours that lost her boyfriend or whoever it is that could somehow make that connection.
I did have an ex-boyfriend that his friend passed away very, very young. I went to his funeral. We had, yeah, that's all, but he wasn't suicide. He was stabbed.
I don't think that's it. I'm not exactly sure who it is, but for some reason that soul is coming through and like clogging up the channel here.
Okay.
But I do know that. Oh, and when I say clogging up the channels, it's because when souls see a connection, right? Like, for example, you knew them in some way. Either you worked with them, you went to school with them, or whatever it was. If they have an urgent message, or they're there and they see there's some type of a connection that you have with a friend of theirs or a family member, sometimes they'll use you to try to deliver that message, and that's what I see that's happening here. But I think I also feel like this was a recent passing, and that's kind of why he's not really sure kind of how to channel or come through. But find out who that is, because that soul's definitely around you.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Let me know on Facebook. I'll leave you with that, because he won't go away.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, I'll leave you with that.
Well, that told her. That's what you get for not figuring it out, Lisa. You're supposed to agree to it. And this is evidence of showing you how it is that why it's important to make sure you say yes and you try to find out who it is that you are reading, who it is that they're trying to connect. She couldn't do it. So that was a very big surprise that he came out with the mom. Is this your mom? Because she's way too young to have her mom. No. I mean, I know it happens, but that's not a good guess for a cold reader. So then once he's done that and it's not true, and he tries well, it was a woman who saw you like a daughter. And that still didn't make sense to her. She's supposed to get with the game. Come on, Lisa. All right. Then the cancer blockage. This a woman. She's like, well, maybe it's my great grandma. He's like, nope, we're not talking to great grandma today. No, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. You've already said no to me. We're done. We're done with that. So she tries with a boyfriend, a young male, which is typical, which is what I would expect. And she's like, no, I don't have anybody. And he says, she's trying to feed him her uncle. And she says, we don't know what caused his death. We still don't know. And I thought Matt would seize on that and go for it because that's more of his style. But no, he's like, no. He says, I see your uncle and it's not him. And then she tries, he says, maybe what happens, like he knows these things, is that the dead who are just swimming around waiting for somebody to come to go to a medium like him and will swoop in and say, hey, get this message to my family. And she's like, I don't know anybody like that. And then she tries really hard. Well, I did have an ex-boyfriend who had a friend who died of stabbing, and I went to his funeral. But Matt's like, I'm done with you. I'm done with you, Lisa. He tried so hard. And what didn't really make sense is Matt says it was a recent passing and the guy was in his 20s and it could have been her boyfriend. He's trying to make it sound like somebody she knows. And she's, I think, in her 30s. So I don't know how recent that would have been. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. So there was a lot of guessing and a lot of that going on here. Now, there's two things I want to make sure I explain to you. One is what would have cleared this whole thing up is if Matt had told her the name of the guy and the name of the woman. He doesn't. Why? The answer is because Matt's not psychic. He's not talking to anybody. There's nobody there he's talking to, unless you want to say he's talking to the voices in his own head. He's not talking to anybody. He's not psychic. He does not know the answer. So he cannot give a name or initials because there is no one there. And she's not playing along. She's not going with it and agreeing to the things. She's not. She wanted to do the uncle, and he's not buying the uncle, and so she's on her own. The other thing I wanted to, so I mean, he could have cleared the whole thing up with that. The other thing I want to say is that when this is over, I mean, I might burn her on Matt Fraser. She might say, oh, I'm done with it. That was awful. Or she might say, I got to find a young man who died recently and try to come through. And I bet she'll find somebody in her school life, somebody she went to school with that she didn't know died. And now she'll find out that he died last year or recently, whatever recently is. or maybe somebody she in her hometown, her old neighborhood, or somebody she worked with, or somebody at the grocery store, and now he's not there anymore, and she thought it was because he got another job, but no, he died. So something might happen where she's going to find a way of making this make sense, and she doesn't realize that the guy has died, and she'll figure it out later. That's what I think might happen in her because they want really bad to make this work. The thing is, what everybody keeps forgetting is Matt could have just said the guy's name, and that would have just taken care of it all. So she'll say, oh yeah, I didn't realize till recently that some guy I went to high school with, he died, and that must have been who was trying to come through with Matt Fraser's thing. Never saying to herself, why didn't Matt just say his name is Robert? Because that's not how these motivated sitters' minds work. They're not there to question the psychic. They're not challenging them. There's no way they want to challenge them. This person is speaking to the dad, and he's a TV star and America's top psychic medium and a New York Times bestselling author. They're not going to challenge them. But this is what happens when you don't toe the line and start saying, "Oh, I figured it out. I think it's this person." And Matt was over you. And as I said, this is reading 7 of 9. So he's probably tired out, and he's kind of like, okay, whatever. Too many no's, I'm out of here. And I think that's what happened. So you guys leave me your notes in the underneath the description, and let's get on to 8 and 9. We can do this.